When I tell you I was mad, very much. I didn't like my skin. It's not really exfoliating. It's just melting into my skin. It's like hot liquid wax. You're gonna spend hours, hours, and hours, and hours. We back. Today, I'm going to share with you all, because I got to thinking about this too at the same time, of how to prepare your empties for recycling. We also got to talk about ways that you could tell that a body scrub has expired or gone bad. And this is no shade to the brand. Roll with me so I can tell you all the story time of all how this all came about. First things first, this is the Shea Butter Argan Oil and Raw Shea Softening Hand and Body Scrub. Review is right here that I did last year. The story behind this one was that I wanted to go through some products, and I picked this up initially at Sam's Beauty. I don't know why it took me a moment to be like, where did I get this from? Sam's Beauty. Also, I picked this up at Sam's Beauty along with a couple of other products as well that were all, I did an all Shea Moisture order, and that wasn't sponsored. Neither is this. Out of all that I got, this was one of the products that turned out to be bad. And so I had a hard time trying to fairly grade it because of the condition that it arrived in. And I started thinking, fast forward to the last couple of days, I said, well, this body scrub is no good. And I had to wind up scrubbing for days from my shower floor because it left this oily film. And when I tell you I was mad, very much. I didn't like it. Not at all. It's the packaging that it arrives in. Let's be realistic here. Sometimes you don't always have the time to go to the store, or if it's a specialty brand of a body scrub, you tend to order it online, which is even more so serves as a perfect example. You need to look at the packaging. First of all, it needs to come sealed. If it does not come sealed, I admonish you to toss it, or at least if the company has a return policy, do that. Be fair, be square. But if everything's fine and it arrives sealed, then don't be trying no little sneaky stuff, okay? Be fair, be square. But if something's really genuinely wrong with it and the company has, return it if they have a policy. You want to immediately do a test area patch test, they call it. I believe that's the more popular term. And do a patch test on your arm. Now, I'm not exactly sure why they say the arm the most, but there's that. And then give it 24 hours at the least to see if there's allergic reaction. If so, you know not to go any further. Wanting to do the patch test, and maybe you having this sit in the shelf with your storage among your other body care storage. Right, basically, you don't want to take the risk. That's fine. Look at the texture and consistency. Now, what I see here, did that just drop? So the first thing you want to do is look at the texture and consistency. Now here it looks moisturizing and it looks perfectly normal, which is why it's nothing like doing this in person. You have the scrub particles, they're doing what they're supposed to do. You feel a bit of that friction. That's what it's designed to do. If the texture starts to feel really sticky, that's the number one thing I noticed. As soon as you go in there and, you go in there and get a guap of this body scrub and the film of it is sticky. Now, unless it's made with the ingredient or unless it's made to purposely be sticky, it should not be sticking to your hand, leaving a thick film that you otherwise would have to shave off or wash and use excessive amounts of soap to get that, leave that residue on the top of your skin. The smell. This also didn't smell as fresh, which was the second thing after the sticky hands and the thick film that it left on my skin. The smell. You want to start smelling your products. Even if you've had it sitting on the shelf of whatever type of product it is, 10 months. If you know the seasons has changed since it's been on that shelf for 10 months, just using that example, in the habit of monthly doing inventory on your body care products. The smell is already like something's wrong. For me to notice that, thank God, for me to notice that just from, this was my first time trying it out last year, and I don't know what it smells like fresh. I just know something's wrong. I know it's sticky. I know every time putting it on my skin, it's not really exfoliating. It's just melting into my skin. It's like hot liquid wax. That's another sign a body scrub has either expired or has gone bad, meaning stored in the wrong temperature or past its expiration date. The smell is off. Whether you've ever tried the body scrub or not, you just notice something smells off, something that's very pungent. That's a sign. Definitely. If some time has passed and you go to do your inventory check, like, I'm not even liking smelling this right now, but I'm trying to make a point. Okay. You go to combine this, I'm gonna leave this little bit of residue on my hand because I'm not finna dig in there again. Notice as you're applying it, it's melting into your skin, and there's a thick layer you're having to dig off. It's settling into your skin. It's like more like hot liquid wax, sugar being melted down together. It's not falling apart. It's not free flowing. If it's melted together in any kind of way like hot wax, you're gonna spend hours, hours, and hours and hours washing this stuff off your skin. And you can't play with that because it's going to get in everywhere. Nook, crannies, crevices, creases. And if you put it everywhere, then that's going to be a nightmare for you. And if you got somewhere important to go, that's not going to be good for you. That's all I'm saying as well. That when you're digging into the jar, it's taking you something to get it out. Like it's smashed compact down. I encourage you all to have like an inventory routine in place for your body care. It don't have to be rigid or anything like that. Like I must check it at every day at noon because that's unrealistic. Once a month, no matter what the day is, do inventory. The product is sealed, okay, cool. And you're not ready to open it, don't open it. But examine the outside. Any products that have oil, they're made with any oil of any type, especially body scrub, you want to make sure that you're checking to see if any mold, if anything has gone rancid, same thing, spoiled, gone bad, growing bacteria, so forth within the bottle, because that if you don't store it correctly or if it's been shipped to you or manufactured underneath the wrong conditions, you need to be aware of that. Because we're still talking about a product in which, even though it might have preservatives in it, and more so if it's vegan, then you definitely have to keep an eye on that stuff. And especially if you're not using it immediately right away or you're stockpiling it, you gotta get into the habit of checking your items once a month, maybe twice if you go in there from the last inventory check and you're like, I found 3 of these things with mold, separation of the oil from the rest of the ingredients. Okay, adjust to the frequency at which you're going to do inventory on checking your body care items. And then also change the room around. If it's not working in the hot bathroom and it's too hot in there and you done caught condensation on the inside of the bottles, might be time to change it to a nice, dark, cool closet. It works because it's not being exposed directly to the sunlight. The better you know how to store your products, the more coin you finna save. And that, ladies and gentlemen, those are some ways that you could tell if a body scrub has expired or has gone bad. I love each and every one of you, and I will see you all next time.